Hey YouTube, it's Iman. Just wanted to check in. It's been a while. Um, Today's November 1st, and I had my baby. She was due, um, by my calculations, around the 8th or ninth. By my doctor's calculations, around the 13th. So somewhere between um, the 8th and the 13th, uh, she was due, but she came early. She came at 37 weeks. In a few days. So she's 6 days old, and I could not be more in love. Um, but I wanted to check in. I wanted you guys to know what was going on me, what was going on with me. So I was having some complications, and so I was being closely monitored. Um, I'm having regular ultrasounds and things of that nature. And I went in for one of my it's called a NST, a non-stress test. And um at that test my doctor discovered fluctuations in the baby's heart rate. And so we went to triage, and there we continue to have fluctuations without any cause. Like, it's normal. The baby's heart rate fluctuates. That's normal. And it's normal to see even, I guess, bigger fluctuations when the mother is in labor and in active labor and having contractions. But I wasn't even in labor. And she was having major heart rate fluctuations. So the doctor was like, we're delivering your baby today. So I called my husband. It was his first day on a new job, and he couldn't leave. He could not leave. So I called my mom, and my mom dropped what she was doing, and she rushed over, and she was by my side. I had a C-section. I had a C-section with Zachariah, my son. And so this time I was going for a VBAC, but my doctor had already told me if medical intervention was needed, we were not going to have a vaginal delivery. And so she didn't even want to attempt, you know, trying to go through labor for it to end up in a cesarean. We went straight with the cesarean. And I think that was a good call because, like I said, she was having heart rate fluctuations. And I was not even in active labor. So I just can imagine if I was having contractions, what she might have experienced. But I was being monitored because she was small for her gestation. She wasn't dangerously small to the point that she needed to be, you know, that I needed that she needed to be delivered immediately, but it was something that my doctor was keeping an eye on. So when we decided to deliver at 37 weeks, or when it was decided, we had 3 NICU doctors and some NICU nurses and a whole NICU team in the delivery room in the OR. And so I got to see my baby because of the way the room was set up. But I remember when Zachariah was delivered, the doctor lifted him up over the curtain, and I got to see him before the nurses took him to do the APGAR, to do their assessment to make sure he was good. This time, the doctor did not even do that. She immediately handed him to the NICU team. Immediately handed her to the NICU team to assess, for them to assess her. And I think that it took 20-30 minutes. And she was doing good. Like, there was no major concerns. She would cry and things, and they had this monitor on her that kept going off. But what they noticed was that it was her heart rate. Her heart rate was fluctuating. But she was so upset. She kept crying. You know what I'm saying? She was taken out of her environment. So they were associating the fluctuations with, with her cries. Because whenever they did get her to calm down, they would, they would try to stick like a pacifier in her mouth or whatever. So whenever they would get her to calm down, her heart rate would immediately regulate. So, they did all the tests though, and she was literally 5 feet away from me, maybe. I could see her very well, but they also had a camera on her and they had a TV monitor where I could see her on the monitor, but I was choosing to watch her live instead of watching her on the monitor. But, yeah, so we named her Zariah, which means princess. It's also a city or a country. I can't remember. It's a city or a country in Africa. I think it's a country. It's a country in Africa. Named her Zariah Ashar, and I adapted Ashar from Asher. Asher means happiness, so she's Princess Happiness. That's my baby. And so she did. She did well. She didn't have to go to NICU at all. She stayed by my side. I delivered at Texas Children's Pavilion for Women, and they have one of those. Their newer what do you call it? The newer models or whatever. Where the baby stays with mom. I know a lot of hospitals are moving to this, but the baby stays with mom the whole time unless the baby needs NICU time. Or like if you need to send your baby to the nursery, you can. Like if you want to get some rest, if they will take your baby in the nursery, but babies don't go to nursery for any reason unless the parent requests it, or you can go to the nursery and have circumcision. Because she was C-section baby, she had a lot of like amniotic fluid and stuff in her lungs that's normally squeezed out. During a vaginal delivery, it's normally squeezed out. So they did take her for me for about 10 minutes because she was having a hard time getting the fluid out of her chest. She would cough and spit it up, but at one point it was just like she wasn't able to get it out. So I called the nurse and she came in and she took her to go suction her, and she was only gone for 5 or 10 minutes and she brought her right back. But other than that, she's been with me for the last 6 days, and I'm just enjoying being her mother. I'm just enjoying being her mother. It's so awesome. I don't want her to grow. I mean, I do, but I just want her to take her time and stay small and just be my baby. And, my son is 4, and I feel like, so, on one hand, of course, it didn't just fly by, but in a way it did. It's like he's already 4. And so I just really want to enjoy her being a baby. because one day I'll look up and 4 years will have passed, 18 years will have passed, you know. So, I love my baby girl. My son loves her, and he's always wanting to kiss her and hold her and things. He My mother and my mother-in-law have been helping with him. Right now, today he went to church with my mom. He'll be back. I think he'll be back later today. I have a doctor's appointment, so she might keep him so I can go to the doctor in the morning, and maybe he'll come back after my doctor's appointment. But I mean, I've had a lot of help with him, and so he's been home and everything with us. But I get to focus so much of my time on her. I still don't know like what it's really like to be a mother of two. I don't know I will, because eventually, I'll get the hang of her routine, and my mom and my mother-in-law won't help as much. I mean, they love to help him. They don't complain. They love to help me with him. They don't complain at all, but, we gotta get in a routine, and he needs to be home with us. Because I don't want him to feel neglected or anything like that. But, yeah, things are going great. And, I thought that I would check in and tell you guys my weight, but I'm not. I'm not telling you. Well, I will tell you this. On delivery day, on the day of delivery, I was 228 pounds. So that I was 212 to start, right? So that's was that 18 pounds? Something like that. 16. Yeah, about 16 pounds. So my home scale, actually, we'll go by my home scale. We'll say 18, because at home it was 230. So let's go by my home scale. I gained 18 pounds. And since I had surgery, I was pumped with fluids. And I thought that by now the fluid drainage would be gone, but it's not. I'm very swollen. I'm looking at my feet right now. I got them propped up. So as soon as my swelling goes away, I'm going to report, where my weight is. But we'll just say 230. So 18-pound gain. But that's good, because y'all, I gained like 60 pounds. You know what I'm saying? 55, 65 pounds with Zariah. So to only gain 18 pounds this time is awesome. And so the baby was 5 pounds and 10 ounces, 18 and a half inches long. And she was born Monday the 26th. So that's pretty much all I have. This video is getting long. I will include some pictures of her, and she's actually asleep. Y'all have to excuse my bed. Sorry. That's my little princess Zariah, and she actually has on a Texans jersey because she's a Texans fan. But, she's all swaddled up so that she can sleep. Anyway, I'll be back in maybe a week or two whenever all this swelling is gone. And I'll start reporting on my VSG journey. Thanks for watching.